welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are switching gears to World Down Syndrome Day. Now, World Down Syndrome Day is on March 21st, which is actually tomorrow. And of course, it is a day that's been designated by the UN that has been officially observed since 2012. Now, we are here this morning, of course, to talk about it a little bit. There is going to be, a little later this morning, there's going to be the World Down Syndrome Day conference that's happening at the Magdalena Grand Hotel. So joining me on set to talk a little bit about that and the day itself is Mr. Fitzherbert Glen Niles, and he's the founder and chairman of the Down Syndrome Family Network, as well as Miss Nicole Flynn. And she is a president of the Council of Community Living, in Ontario, Canada. Good morning and welcome to you both. How are you guys doing?
Great, and thank you for having us.
Morning, Kandace.
Now, I first want to get started off about why is observing, I should say, World Down Syndrome Day so important?
All right, well, when the UN, it was September 2011, and they designated March the 21st, of course, because it's the 21st of the third month, signifying the 21st chromosome that splits in three, that causes that extra chromosome, that causes people to be born with trisomy 21 or Down syndrome. When they planned that, we had already formed the Down Syndrome Family Network, and we were looking for that perfect day to launch. And so when they said the 21st of March, we were like, oh, that's it. 2012, the 21st of March, we launched the network, synonymous with the very first celebration of United Nations World Down Syndrome Day. So the network was launched on the same day, and it's really about celebrating the accomplishments of persons with Down syndrome. And we try to let it last throughout the year. Not let it be one day when everybody rocks their socks and, make this huge fashion statement. And then for the rest of the year, we forget about the people with Down syndrome and other disabilities and just go about our merry lives and leave them behind. So that's the main thing with it. So as you mentioned, today is our conference. We had to shift things around a bit as SCA is on the 21st of March.
Tomorrow.
But we did. I'm glad you said Magdalena was one of our initial sponsors. So we always used to have the conference at Magdalena. But this year it's actually at Ravenel Conference Center. Yeah, so it will be
Sorry, it was just force of habit.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's great. And now we know that people with Down syndrome are just like anybody else, and they can do a whole lot. And Nicole Flynn, you are one of those people that have accomplished quite a lot. So tell me about yourself and what you've been able to do, regardless of being someone with Down syndrome.
Having Down syndrome doesn't define me.
Great.
Because
tell me about, you being able to go to school and so on.
Right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Going to college, I graduated with a general arts and science program, and with the focus of anthropology and sociology, with the understanding of people who have disabilities anywhere on the spectrum.
Yes.
And I like to advocate on behalf of nature and people who have disabilities. And specifically Down syndrome, if you look at it, we are beautiful. If you look at the butterfly, a monarch butterfly, when they have beautiful colors on their wings, and when you look at different people with their different personality, you're looking at different type of animals. So in that case, putting that together, then you have a beautiful diversity of strengths and skills and abilities, unique abilities that people can come together at the table.
Having Down syndrome does not hold you back.
No.
Tell me about just the life that you've been able to live and just all the things that you've been getting into and so on, just like anybody else.
Right. Because, let me think here. being human, we can easily make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because we're human. And doesn't matter what we do, or what the goal is, or the dreams that people have in their what is it?
In your minds and in your hearts.
Yeah, whatever you put your mind towards, or putting your heart desire into working something that you are very passionate in,
Mm-hmm.
take that. Take that opportunity. Because I have this opportunity, like when I met Glen Niles, beautifully. Because when they say, oh, we need a speaker who can speak on people who have disabilities, the first one came into the forefront of their brains is me.
Wow.
And I took it. I took that opportunity because I know that the next opportunity, the next generation will be benefit of that.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Niles, tell me about just being able to have Nicole on board, have her there at the conference today, and what are you hoping to inspire?
Well, we are hoping that parents will look at Nicole and stop holding their children back.
Mm-hmm.
Change the way they parent. You see, we are in this old paradigm. I was one of those parents, stuck thinking, oh, I have a special child and I have to take special care of them, and everything has to be special and protective and keep them in this cocoon. And then they go to a school that's like a box where there's only persons with disabilities. So there's nobody that they could see to try and emulate, to learn from, and to progress, because when and that's why the theme of the conference is ending stereotypes, because everything is based on stereotypes. For any time we put that label on them as being special and put them in that box, we are letting our limited beliefs, perspectives, and opinions dictate how we treat with them. So nothing comes out of it other than they not being able to achieve their full potential.
Mm-hmm.
So since the network started, we launched in 2012, and from 2013, every year for the conference, we bring down a self-advocate like Nicole to show our parents, this is what your children could be like. Of course, because we are so fully ingrained in that old school mentality, they will meet Nicole, they will talk to her, they will engage her, and then they will still say, oh, she's like that because she lives in Canada, or she lives in the US or Australia, or whichever self-advocate we bring down. They will never think that, wait, if she's like that, why aren't our children like that? What do we have to do for them to be able to be like Nicole? What are we doing wrong? And those are the questions we're supposed to ask ourselves, because we are failing them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we always bring them to try and change that mindset, show people where this is where our children can be. I mean, I started late with my son, and now he's employed. He's working at a store in a mall. He was working for aeropost.com for 4.5 years until COVID. And he was functioning just like any other employee. He started to give me some trouble though, because, he was working with young men his age.
Mm-hmm.
So, he started to move with the swagger and want to pull down his pants, hanging off his hip, and, all the things. But then again, that is what the young men do.
Mm-hmm.
So I can fight against that, because I want him to emulate them. I want him to learn. He is a young man.
He is
just
part
like
of
them.
society.
There you go.
And the beauty of Nicole is that she was able to, be part of, go after her education, decide on what she wanted to do, and go after it.
Yes.
And that's something that you want to also have here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with what you said, and what Glen Niles described about the box. You have to think out of the box. Be creative. Doesn't matter if you're inside or out, because we're beautiful inside and out. Doesn't matter what we are. Like, all right, imagine this is our society's norm. Each side of that norm considered as a mistake. And no, we're not a mistake. We meant to be this way. And now in society today, is really focusing on neuro focus, on, we have to teach one kid one way and teach the same kid the same way. Well, no, because every kid can be different. Like, for example, my sister, we adopted her 33 years old. Right now, we have someone who is supporting her. And my dad had to leave work, literally had to leave work to support my sister. And the only support I have is my mom, Kathy. And okay, I'm going to make you just imagine that we are out on the ice floe, okay? There's agencies, yes, there's agencies and there's organizations. They really want to support us. But the only problem they have is barriers in between. The space between is what defines the society's attitude in a space is creating the disability thing in their minds and saying, oh, that person has disability, we can't teach you anything. Well, no. I know a lot of things. We know everybody can learn. Because regardless of their intersectionalities, the point is we're learning. And if we continuously learning and be creative out of the box, then we are worth living. Our lives are worth living because our lives is at stake.
Yes. And you know, what's been, as we're getting ready to wrap up the conversation because we're actually almost out of time, but Mr. Niles, has there been any change? Has there been any change with Trinidad and Tobago in terms of the way that we accept people with disabilities, well, specifically people with Down syndrome?
Well, the change that is coming, this is something that we've been lobbying for since we started the network, and that is legislation. Now, a lot of organizations, representing persons with disabilities have been working over the years very hard on awareness, but not as hard as awareness of their potential, but more awareness of their needs, right? But now we realize that without legislation, together with awareness, to change the mindset, because then the laws will make you have to change your mindset, not if you feel like changing your mindset. So we did, through our lobbying, we did get partnered with other organizations. We got the government to ratify the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in 2015. They updated the national policy, amended the national policy on persons with disabilities in 2018. And now they are finally finalizing the first draft of our National Disabilities Bill. I mean, that is huge.
And what would that allow?
Well, that will allow, the bill will have a law that will protect, empower, and support persons with disabilities. So a lot of changes will come, and there will be, of course, underarching policies associated with the bill. Some of the existing laws would have to change, and everything will be more in accordance with the United Nations Convention and even with our Constitution, even though it's seriously outdated as well. And well, that is being reviewed for update, for amendment too.
So change is coming. It's a work in progress.
It is. And everybody tells me that it wouldn't come now, but I don't have long again. Everybody knows when I started the network, I had locks, long, and it was black. Now I almost have no hair on my head and I have a beard and it's all white. But I don't have much time. And my whole thing is we have to use the time we have wisely to conduct this, because my son is 25 and we've been in this fight since he was born. And I want to see a better future for him in Trinidad and Tobago and for all the other persons with Down syndrome and other disabilities, because we have the power to change that future. if we stop sitting around and, and blaming the THA and the government and the schools and the teachers, and look at ourselves and what are we doing to make that change.
Great. And as we're getting ready to wrap, because like I say, we're out of time, but Nicole, you actually have a website.
Yes, I do. I have a website, and because on my website I have everything accessible. But it's still in a work in progress, and I have learned about universal design learning, and to accommodate accessibility for everyone to look at the website. Because right now, like what you said, Claire, about we can't trust the government. And like you said, we can't blame or fingerpointing at the government. But again, we can't just trust the government because, they can say one thing, but they mean something else.
So what is your website? Where can people find out more about you and learn more?
Really good question.
What's the name of the website?
My name of my website is NicoleFlynn.ca.
Great. All right, viewers, so there you have it. You can go on NicoleFlynn.ca, find out more about Nicole. And if you also, because she has a lot of great information on being somebody who has Down syndrome and just being able to be part of society. So I want to thank you both. Of course, we have the conference coming up this morning. So we're going to hear a lot more during that conference. So thank you and continue doing the good work, and happy World Down Syndrome Day.
Thank you, and you as well.
Thank you. All right, viewers, we got to go for a quick break and we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere.